Good morning once again and welcome to my YouTube channel, Maths with Ease by Mr. Kamotho. And in this video, I want us to explain example 2 of graph 7. And remember, in this playlist, we are actually looking at how to solve simultaneous nonlinear equations. Nonlinear equations means that the power of the variable x or any other independent variable is not 1, it is greater than 1 rather. So when we are talking about x squared, this is a quadratic graph, and you're supposed to solve using this one to solve another quadratic graph. So here is the graph of y is equals to x squared. By drawing a suitable straight line on the graph, solve the equation 2x squared plus x minus 8 is equals to 0, giving your answers correct to 1 decimal place. Actually, the graph of y is equals to x squared is not drawn. Okay, it ought to have been drawn, but we are the ones that are coming up with it. Let us first of all come up with a graph of y is equals to x squared. And there we go, that is the y-axis. Down here we have the x-axis. We have the x-axis. We have the x-axis there. We would want to get the range of -3 all the way to +3 along the x-axis. So we have -1, -2, and -3, and then +1, +2, and then +3 for the x values. What about the y values? When we have to square the x values, then the highest value of y would become 9, because -3 squared is 9. So if we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we may not reach 9. But if we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, we may not want to go beyond that. So when x is -3, -3 squared is actually 9. That point, we are going to plot that point. When x is -2, -2 squared is a 4. We have that point also. When x is -1, -1 squared is 1, 0, 0, because 0 squared is 0. When x is 1, y is 1, 1 squared is 1. When x is 2, we have 2 squared being 4. And when x is 3, we have 3 squared being a 9. And there we are. Our graph now becomes, this is the graph of y is equals to x squared. And as I keep telling you, this graph you should always try to use the free hand. Don't try to use a ruler. And every time we have it, y is equals to x squared. There we are. Now, solving of this graph, or solving of this equation. First of all, we should be there are some steps that we must apply, and some of these steps we have seen them in the previous example. Let us have the equation to be solved under the given equation. How are we going to write that? The given equation is y is equals to x squared. So we write it here, y is equals to x squared. The equation to be solved is 2x squared plus x minus 8 is equals to 0. So we have always said that similar terms should be in the same column. So we have x squared, and the equation to be solved, we have 2x squared. So we should have 2x squared there. We have x here. We don't have x in the given equation. So we should have it but let it have a lot of emptiness, 0x, so that we can have plus x there in the same column. The reason why we bring 0x here is to ensure that similar terms are in the same column. Let us look at the constants. The given equation has no constant, but the equation to be solved has a constant of -8. So let us bring a constant that has a lot of emptiness, 0, so that we can effectively bring -8 there, and we can easily now solve. Is equals to what? Is equals to 0. And having seen that, then we can solve the two equations simultaneously. First things first, we want to eliminate x squared term, so we want to establish, are they having the same signs? Because as you know, das is a name we use most of the time, in fact always, when we are solving simultaneous equation. What does that mean? When you are dealing with different signs, we add, and we are dealing with same signs, we subtract. So these are same signs. So we are subtracting equation 1 minus equation 2. And let's go. Y minus 0 is y, and therefore x squared minus 2x squared. X squared minus 2x. Ladies and gentlemen, before we can go there, we have forgotten a step, and let me just explain it. The step that we have forgotten, because our objective is to eliminate x squared, is to balance the coefficient of x squared. And how do we go about this? This is 2x. We must by all means make this 2x. So we should multiply equation 1 by 2 throughout. What does that give us? We have 2y is equals to 2x squared plus 0x plus 0. Of course, everything 0 multiplied by 2 is 0. And then multiply equation 2 by 1 so that we can maintain the 2 there. So we have 0 is equals to 2x squared plus x minus 8. Now we can go through the process of subtraction. Sorry for that. 2y minus 0 is actually 2y. 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. 0x minus x is minus x. And 0 minus minus 8 is actually plus 8. And what do we have? We have the equation. 2y is equals to minus x plus 8. To make our work easier, we may divide everything by 2 to just make y the subject of the formula. And what are we having? Y is equals to minus a half x plus 4. And it is now from this that we are going to tabulate our information. Tabulating our information, it means we come up with a small table as far as that is going to address this equation, x and y. When x is minus 2 for that matter, minus a half times minus 2 is actually 1. Minus a half times minus 2 is 1. 1 plus 4, we have a 5. When x is 0, we have y being 4. When x is 2, minus a half times 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 4 is 3. And that is the information that we bring here. When x is minus 2, we have 5. So that we are plotting that. We are highlighting that plot. When x is 0, we have a 4. And when x is 2, we have a 3. And let us now draw that graph and get our point of intersection. This is the graph. When x is minus 2, we have 5. There we go. And what is the name of this graph? y is equals to negative a half x plus 4. Again, just like we have done in the previous one, we should highlight the point of intersection. This is one point of intersection, and it is always advisable to use a ruler so that we can read off our solution. We have to highlight this point of intersection. Let us just use another color here. That is negative 2.1.2.3. Yeah, this is negative 2.3, and we can have another point of intersection here, which is around there, and this is 1.1.2.3.4.5.6.7. This is 1.7. If you draw accurately, then those are the values that you are expected to find. And how do we now respond to the solutions? The solutions of solving, coming up with a graph of y is equals to x squared, and by coming up with a straight line, solve 2x squared plus x minus 8 is equals to 0. Our solutions are clear now. We can say x is equals to minus 2.3 or x is equals to 1.7, and there you are. Please ignore the part that we had forgotten and follow the whole equation and the explanation. Thank you. Subscribe, share, and of course let us meet in the next video. Thank you so much.